The Neon Demon, directed by Nicolas Winding Refn. And well, just for the record, I'm not too familiar with his work. I mean, I've seen Bronson, thought it was pretty cool. And I've seen Drive, thought it was pretty, like, whatever. And now his latest movie, The Neon Demon. Everybody was talking about it. You know, some people loved it, other people hated it. You know, it's stuff like that that got me curious. So I've actually seen it twice since, so let's take a look. But first, you'll have to sit through like 30 minutes of production company logos. It's crazy. It's like that one Family Guy episode. But I get it. It's a co-production. So eventually the actual movie starts and oh no, Elle Fanning, star of the show, she's already dead. Nah, don't worry guys. It's just an edgy photo shoot. See, she plays Jessie, who wants to make it as a model. She just turned 16. It's the perfect age, I guess. And she recently moved to LA, big city of dreams, but everything in LA ain't always what it seems. She soon befriends this makeup girl, Ruby, who introduces her to these other two girls, also models, but they're old, fam. Like, what, 26, 27? Fucking has-beens. And everybody loves Lil Jessie, of course, so there might be some jealousy that'll come into play. And, well, you know, me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this whole fashion industry. At least, well, especially not in the way it's portrayed in this movie. You know, I don't know how accurate it is, but you know, that's okay. If it serves as a good backdrop to an interesting story, you know, I'm fine with that. Just sucks that an interesting story never came. Spoilers! Really, like, skip to this time mark in the video if you haven't seen this movie and you don't want it spoiled. Okay? Okay. Because, really, basically this movie takes 2 hours to tell the story of beautiful young girls new in the scene. You know, the fashion industry. Older models get jealous and, well, they decide to kill her. That's it. It's not that interesting of a story. And it could have definitely be told in less than 2 hours. I mean, I just did it in 2 seconds. But of course, this is Nicolas Winding Refn, you know, a very much a visual storyteller. So, okay, you know, I understand. But in that case, let's just look at the visual aspect of the movie. Because I don't think anyone will disagree on that this movie looks great. There's a lot of neon and lights and more neon and neon. They should have called it... Oh wait, they did. It's a feast to the eyes, and I like that. I mean, one of my favorite movies makes very little sense to me, but I simply love it because it's so beautifully made. So, if there's one thing I like about this movie, it's the look. Because, well, besides that, I don't know. Initially, I didn't really care for the acting, for example, the two older models. But later, I realized that I just hated the characters. The performances are actually pretty good, especially by model Abby Lee. Same thing happened with the main character. I don't really know Elle Fanning. Like, I didn't know if she was actually like really doing something. I mean, half the time she just has this sort of dumb look, like But then later when I looked her up, like how she actually is, I figured like, oh shit, she is actually playing this young, shy, somewhat insecure character pretty well. You got me there. Good job. So, you know, that's all good and well, but you know, this movie is kind of frustrating to me because I like it, but at the same time I don't. And, well, since I just explained what I thought was good about the movie, let me continue by, you know, ranting on about what I didn't like about it. It's pretty slow. And don't get me wrong, if something looks pretty, sure, I'll take the time to look at it. It's just some scenes, like during this performance art or this modeling show, it just goes on a little too long for my personal taste. Definitely during a second time watching the movie. The movie could have been a lot shorter, especially if everybody just talked a little more naturally and replied to each other like normal human beings do.
What, you think that's funny?
No, I don't.
Jesus, that took more than 10 seconds. Really? Have you ever tried that? Waiting 10 seconds before answering a question?
Yo, you want another beer?
Yeah. That's not how life works. And well, besides that, there's a lot of scenes that I feel like, you know, like they somewhat worked in the moment. You're maybe like, oh shit, or like, oh no. But when it's over, it's just that. You know, it didn't really add anything to the overall story or experience. In the end, you know, it's all just a little pointless, I feel, the movie. I mean, sure, towards the end some pretty crazy stuff happens, and you know, everybody out there is like describing meaning to all of it, but in the end it's still just up for speculations, because you know, it's another case of...
I'm not a political filmmaker. I don't really have an interest in making a statement. I think that art is so much more interesting when it's up to interpretation.
So yeah, the Neon Demon. I'm so about it. It's frustrating. You know, on the one hand, it's very well made. It's beautifully shot. There's some interesting performances, a nice like 80s vibe soundtrack. But at the same time, the story is not that interesting. And in my opinion, the pacing could have been, you know, done a lot better. Plus, of course, everybody is either a murderer, a necrophile, or a child molester. I mean, gotta love LA, right?